One of my trusted longtime associates and I went to the 25-yard pistol range last weekend, and we had some fun. Got some 22, some 38 Special, and 357 Magnum, some 9mm from the Glock 26, but unfortunately we've also got some 9mm from the Glock 19. That's one of the Brownell slides. And if you direct your attention over here, the strike of the round was way off to the point of, bear with me here, it's blasting through my frame. So we're looking at 6 inches or more off target at 25 yards, and that's no fun. Accurate gun's an interesting gun. So I've got the slide here with me. There's the original sights that we installed on it. Other than that, it functioned just fine, so you guys are invited along. We're going to replace that sight with a $20 OEM Glock adjustable sight. Be able to knock that out quick and be able to make adjustments and get our point of aim and point of impact right back where they belong. So there you go. Let's do this. I've cleaned the workspace out of everything but the essentials. We've got some rubbing alcohol and a Q-tip to clean out the slot for the dovetail. Got the bench block, punch kit, hammer, the replacement sight, which we'll have a closer look at after we put it in, and of course our Brownell's slide. And I've also got some black coffee and some ice water and the leg lamp, and my high performance gunsmithing cat, and that should help keep things more enjoyable, and I can always rely on her if things get out of hand. So let's get this thing set up. Let's do it. First thing we'll do is disassemble the slides so we're not hammering on something that might accidentally have a bullet in it. So got the stainless barrel OEM recoil spring. We'll get those set aside. Next up, we'll select our punch. So we'll set our strip slide into the bench block, and we'll go with a plastic punch so we don't mar this thing up. Fun fact, originally this was on my Glock 26, and I took it to a professional to have it swapped out for an identical adjustable rear sight. And despite taking it to professional, it got all marred up and dinged anyway. So you might as well do it yourself and save yourself a few bucks if the end result's going to be the same anyway. So I haven't done a ton of these, but I've found that the hammer and punch method just seems to be the most straightforward. And it's not ideal because the thing's going to be at a little bit of an angle, but we'll get it out of there. And if we end up blowing out the speaker with all the taps, we'll dub in some soothing music. Here we go. You can see we've already got it started just a hair, and once it gets going, it goes out pretty easy. There you go. Well, we've got that out. We'll clean out the area with the dovetail and make sure that's looking good. We'll wipe it down with the dry end and let it dry for a second. So we're all dried out. You should be able to get this thing started by hand. The adjustments are on the starboard side of it, so if you don't want to pound on them to put it in, start with the port, and you'll be able to get it started by hand, and then once it's in there, we'll just bang it in the rest of the way. And for this part, we can lay it flat on the block because we're not trying to overshoot it and knock it out. So that's going to give us a little more support. We got it in there, and it's going to be a pretty good fit. And since it's adjustable, we don't have to perfectly line it up. You can see there's very little space to get it anything in there but perfect, but I'm going to line it up as perfectly as I can. Later on, when we try and sight this thing in, if it's still a little to the left, we'll push it as far to the right as we can, and that'll give us a little extra adjustment if we need it. So just by throwing that on video, it took longer than it should have, but we got our elevation adjustment here. Let's see that moving visibly. I find that even flush, they still seem to shoot a little high, but For a $20 solution, that's not too bad. And then the other knob is for the windage, of course. And it comes with this little tool to adjust it, although you can use like a jeweler's screwdriver. Whether it matters or not, I don't know. It aesthetically comes back a little bit from the dovetail and does give you a longer sight radius, although if that matters, you know, who can tell. But here you go. Alright, there's our successful install. Ready to be adjusted and zeroed. We'll take this thing out to the range very soon and find out what we can about it. And in the fairly near future, hopefully we can give you a review on these Brownell slides and see if they're everything they're cracked up to be. The finish is a little spotty, but the price is right, huh? Alright. We're going to have a little bit of break for the summer, and we'll see you guys again real soon. Some of you in person.